develop proficiency and fluency with the tools of technology. This is one of the 6 characteristics of the 21st century learning and learners. Let's review what it was about from my last video. Students in the 21st century should have experience with and develop skills around technological tools used in the classroom and the world around them. Through this, they will learn about technology and learn through technology. In addition, they must be able to select the most appropriate tools to address particular needs. The key here is to learn through technology. Students often know how to use technology per se, but not necessarily in a manner that promote learning. So ask yourself these 6 questions. Do students use technology as a tool for communication, research, and creation of new works? We communicate in many different ways. We email, discuss online, chat with text, voice, and video, post things through social networking services, make blog or video blog entries, podcast, and interact in a virtual reality. All of these methods of communication support different types of communications, and we as educators need to help students learn and use appropriate communication methods and tools to address particular communication needs. What about research? What is involved in researching? Research involves following tasks: find information and resources, collaborate with others to find and gather information and resources, keep the information and resources you found organized, keep records of their sources, discuss information and exchange comments, keep records of your discussions. Technology tools can definitely make all these search and gather tasks easier, more efficient, more organized, and more comprehensive. So what kinds of technology do you use for researching? What about creating new works? What kinds of original works can we create? For the purpose of teaching and learning, we can create presentation visual aid, videos, animations, comic strips, podcasts, blogs, wikis, infographics, diagrams and charts, photos, essays and research papers, handouts, and so on. Do you know what tools you need and how to use them to create each of these types of works? Do students evaluate and use digital tools and resources that match the work they are doing? I have to admit that even though there are so many good digital tools and resources out there, we, including myself, don't really take advantage of a majority of those tools and resources. Let's say you will be giving a group presentation. Which application would you use to create a visual aid? PowerPoint? Maybe so when you actually present, but in the preparation process, I would use Google Slides. Why? Mainly because Google Slides supports live editing by multiple users. In other words, multiple people can edit the same set of presentation slides from their own computers at the same time. One person could be in your school computer lab, another person can be on his laptop in his dorm room, and yet another person can be on his tablet in a different country. It eliminates the need for meeting physically to work on a group project. So given particular needs, students have to be able to evaluate tools and resources available and choose appropriate ones to address those needs. Do students find relevant and reliable sources that meet their needs? Today, we can get all kinds of information and resources from any different places in many different formats. So do you think it's easy to find relevant and reliable sources? Hell no! Yes, finding any information or resources is easy. But when it comes to finding the right information from reliable sources, it gets quite challenging. Sometimes it takes me an hour just to find one picture that depicts exactly what I have in mind. Sometimes it takes hours just to find single evidence to back up my opinion. So don't be lazy. And don't let your students be lazy either. Technology has made it so easy to find and use wrong information from unreliable sources, so teach and train them to find and use relevant materials that closely match what they're trying to convey. Teach and train them to find and use evidence that backs up what they're trying to present. Do students take risks and try new things with tools available to them? Suppose you are super comfortable with PowerPoint. Does that mean you should stick with PowerPoint every time you give a presentation? The answer is hell no! As I mentioned earlier, there are so many different technology tools available to us out there, and new and improved technology tools emerge all the time. And some of the tools out there have potential to replace the tools you currently use for better teaching and learning outcomes. So as educators, we should get our students to take risks and try new things with tools available to them. Bruce Lee used to say, absorb what is useful and discard what is not. So if the tool worked for you, continue using it. If the tool didn't work out for you, discard it and try something else. This mindset is important in a rapidly changing world of technology. Also, since most of us are not all-knowing technology gurus, we can't possibly know all the great things out there, and we can't be their teachers forever. So as educators, we must encourage our students to take initiative in taking risks and trying new things with tools available to them. Do students independently and collaboratively solve problems as they arise in their work? Suppose you are doing homework for computer programming class, and what do you do when a problem arises in your work? You might try to find an answer and solve the problem on your own. You might turn to your friends or classmates, or you might turn to an expert for solution or help.
Emulator again, and again, so that's pretty much it for this.
Whichever action you may take, thanks to technology, there are quite a few technology tools available to you that address your particular needs. To find an answer and solve the problem on your own, of course you can Google search and find some web pages with helpful information. Better yet, YouTube videos can be quite useful. You can usually find a few videos that explain how to solve the exact same problem you're having. What other tools can you use? How about online forums? You can post your question to a forum, and within a few minutes, a few people will post solutions to your problem. Problem solved. What if you want to turn to your friends or classmates? You might email back and forth. Better yet, how about using screencasts? You can visually show exactly what problem you are having. Your friend or classmate can in turn use screencasts to demonstrate how to solve your problem. Video chat is another possibility. Some video chat tools have screen share feature, so you can show your computer screen to your friend live in video chat. What if you want to turn to an expert for a solution or help? If you know the expert person, video chat may be an option. Suppose you don't know any expert, how about YouTube? There are many expert videos on YouTube. Online forums are also another place you may get some expert helps. So technology has created many options for getting help in solving problems. Do students use a variety of tools correctly and efficiently? Again, there are so many technology tools available to you out there, but tools are only as good as how well you use them. Twitter is a good example. To make the best use of Twitter for a back channel in a classroom, you must ensure everyone in the class understands how to use hashtags, and you also need to use a live hashtag search tool like TweetDeck to receive hashtag tweets synchronously. Smartphones are great, but texting back and forth or calling your friends about the mathematical question you have may not be the most efficient way to solve your question. It's probably better if you write down your problem you are struggling with, take a picture of it with your smartphone, and send it to your friend from the phone before discussing the problem. The point is that, as educators, it's not enough just to know individual features of a tool. We must know how we can use those features for better learning and better teaching purposes. So think about these 6 questions when you think about how the 21st century learners should develop proficiency and fluency with the tools of technology.